one day, like, I'm manifesting it. Okay, I'm manifesting it. One day, I want to, like, it's different. I'm speaking right now in front of a camera. Like, I am aware that there's a lot of you watching me, not right here live, but in the video, and it's still like when I am editing, I still have the power of what I want to show, or like if I'm like, I don't know how this sounds or whatever and stuff like that. And it's different live. And one day I do want to talk to a live crowd, and it's going to be totally different. Might be a little bit, like I'm more excited now than like nervous or anything. Like, it's going to happen one day. Even if it, like, at schools and stuff like that, because I've always wanted to help young kids. Because, just as a kid, I went through a lot, and it's like, it's really hard for those that don't have nobody there. And where they're just really on their own, and they're confused, they're lost, and they don't have no guidance, and it's tough, and I want to be able to just inspire you and, like, help you out, by telling you it's good, like, be there for yourself and love yourself, like, all about that kind of stuff, self-love, self-care, and all that good stuff, because nobody tells you that at a young age. Like, that's what the fuck schools are shit now. That's what schools need to fucking literally teach you about real life stuff. Yeah, some fam might be there to help you, but most of the time it's fucking BS as well. And just to not depend nothing from nobody, not even your family, like, yeah, you might be alone, you might feel lonely, but don't feel lonely. Like, just because you're alone doesn't mean you're never alone. You can be alone but not feel lonely. Being alone, it's the best company, to be honest. And I remember when I've always wanted to help kids, and when I was in high school, I was really into criminal justice, and I wanted to help out kids. And I said, well, let me be a PO, I shadowed one literally the first day. I was like, POs are fucking shit. They don't do nothing. They really don't help at all. And I was like, fuck this. And it's because then, like, I just, after that, I was like, the government's fucking shit. It's full of shit. It's literally, like, it's just full of shit, to be honest. And because, yeah, I was like, yeah, no, this, whatever. Whatever. So that's when I went into business, and I was like, well, like, this and that. But I was always interested in business, but it wasn't like my purpose. It wasn't my calling, And I got my bachelor's degree and all that stuff, which it still interests me. Like, I would love to have my own company one day. We'll see where that goes with the whole business. And everything is business, but like, literally to focus on, like, that wasn't my thing. It wasn't my purpose. Like, shit. My thing was, like, my goal was, like, I'm gonna work for, like, I'm gonna be like the chief marketing officer, like, you know what I'm saying? But it just, it really wasn't my thing. It wasn't what was lighting my soul up, And, I got into social media and all that good stuff, and I was really into, but honestly, really, like, the podcast, this is really what inspiring people, really inspiring, because I inspire myself, and I know I can inspire others. And I'm kind of back on that track, of, like, not only trying to help young people, but, like, everybody in general, all peeps, all types of ages, and that's like my purpose, like, this is my area. You know what I'm saying? So where the fuck was I talking? I feel like I keep going, like, back and forth, but yeah. So, but I feel like, see, my insecurity just kept stopping me from that. And also thinking I wasn't creative enough and stuff like that. That was I had a lot of insecurities before, and that's what prevented me from starting social media at an earlier age. People would tell me, and I thought about it in high school. I really wanted to, but I was like, I'm not pretty enough. What are people going to think? What are they going to say? Like, I feel like I need to look a certain way. My makeup skills need to be A1. But no, like, you grow. You have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You start off from zero and just build your way up. So that's why you can't be letting these insecurities stop you from doing anything, my peeps, and I don't regret it. I'm not like, oh, only if I started earlier, this is not. No, I started at the right time, at the time I was supposed to, like, I'm in my zone. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens at its time. But yeah, that's why I'm like, shit, like, I would love to speak at schools or, like, any public event, like, I'm not saying I want to be like a speaker or whatever. I mean, who knows, whatever. But one day I will speak to a live audience, and it's going to be great. And I know it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to go perfect. I might fuck up or whatever. But it's going to be a great experience, and shit, it might happen a couple times, that's where you learn from it and all that good stuff. And this is all practice, and still, like I said, I'm not perfect with the podcast. I have mistakes. I do mistakes, but it's all practice. And when I'm editing, that's when I'm evaluating myself. I'm not being hard on myself, because it's like, I'm still me. I'm not going to stop cussing. I tried to, but I'm like, dude, it's me. That's what makes me me. If people don't like to hear me cuss, then fuck off. Like, go somewhere else, like, I'm going to use slang. Like, that's just me, but that's what makes everybody them, that's what makes Let's Talks vibes. You know what I'm saying?